Well, to discuss this in greater depth, Nikhil Naz, Gaurav Sawant joined me on the broadcast. But let's just begin with saying sportsmanship disputes have punctuated the history of India-Pakistan cricket matches. And even now we see emotions running high. Gaurav, Nikhil, a very good afternoon to you. And my first question is to both of you. The fact that whether this was the posturing that was done by Surya Kumar Yadav, there is no protocol per se of shaking hands with the opposing team. So this is more of a courtesy, this is more of a convention that we see both team players or captains sharing. In that context, how are we looking at what exactly went down both pre and post the match? Gaurav, I'll start with you.
So, ideally, India should not be playing Pakistan. India's effort should be to get Pakistan out of the ICC, not have any multilateral. The way South Africa was ousted because of apartheid, I personally feel Pakistan should be out as long as it remains a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror, and India has the heft. But be that as it may, if we are playing with it, I think it's a very nice thing that Surya Kumar Yadav did not shake hands with the Pakistani player, because that's a team that speaks with the forked tongue. All these players who are today talking about cricket being a gentleman's game, none of them are gentlemen. The same Shoaib Akhtar who says, today they should have shook hands, is the same Shoaib Akhtar who sometime back was talking about Ghazwa-e-Hind against Hindus. And Ghazwa-e-Hind means the victory of Islam over Kafirs or non-believers or Hindus in Hindustan. So clearly that's not a gentleman's game. These are the same Pakistanis who rejoice that they had their namaz on the cricket field in front of Hindus, or for Inzamamul Haq, cricket is more like a field to convert non-believers into Islam. So for Pakistan to speak about a gentleman's game, it's like the devil quoting the scriptures. Point one. Point two, look, India and Pakistan cannot be friends as long as Pakistan remains a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror. And sports has always been an instrument of foreign policy of every country. And we've talked about it at length, whether it's the Western Bloc not playing the 1980 Moscow Olympics, or the entire Soviet bloc then boycotting the 84, Los Angeles Games. So whatever is happening is par for the course. Pakistan must realize terror is unacceptable for India, and that country has to rise. Pakistan, if it wants good ties with India, every Pakistani has to condemn India-centric terror.
Right, Gaurav. Nikhil, your point on this very question at this point.
Well, Shreya, I mean, you spoke about what is the handshake gesture? Is it part of the rule book? But I mean, just to let our viewers know, it's more of a customary practice that happens at the end of the game. So, firstly, if you look at within the framework of the rules, you really can't be taking any action against the Indian team, because as of now, Pakistan cricket is crying foul. I believe they've gone to the Asian Cricket Council, alleging that the Indian team played outside the spirit of the game. But as I said, it's more customary. So there's no rule book against which you can take action against the Indian team. This was a decision taken by the Indian team, as mentioned by Surya Kumar Yadav, in consultation with the government as well as the Board of Control for Cricket in India. But the other thing is what happened in the post-match press conference, where Surya Kumar Yadav dedicated this win to the victim of the terror attack in Pahalgam, as well as the armed forces. Now, of course, there again, each player is allowed to dedicate it to whoever they want. We've seen players dedicate it to flood victims, or to personal family members, or a deceased friend, or so on and so forth. So players are allowed to do that also. The only issue here that might crop up a little later is that most international multilateral tournaments do not allow players to come up with any political related statement. We had a incident, a couple of incidents I can remember, where you had an Australian cricketer carry a sort of a token about free Palestine, and he was really pulled up by the International Cricket Council. We had Mahendra Singh Dhoni once in a World Cup wearing the insignia of the para forces that he was part of as an honorary colonel. So that was also told to MS Dhoni to remove that. Now, whether you can make a statement, and this is not a direct political statement that the captain has made, but it is in a way related to what happened between the two countries in Operation Sindoor. Could Asian Cricket Council take objection to that? We'll have to wait and watch. But if you ask me personally, I think players are also while they represent India and they play for the Indian public in a personal capacity, I'm sure they were also affected with what happened between the two countries in the last few months, and then they're also allowed to express what they felt. I've often said when there were people talking about India-Pakistan encounter, should it go ahead? I often said, why do we have to treat a cricket match between India and Pakistan as some sort of Aman ki Asha, or you're going on to play Pakistan to extend a hand of friendship? That's not happening in the current scenario. However, I think the message that the Indian team wants to send is that, listen, this is a multilateral tournament. At this point, if you're not to play Pakistan, you will only hurt your own country. You only stand isolated yourself. So the government has taken the decision that we must play multilateral tournaments. No point of playing bilateral tournaments. But when we are playing a match, this is in no way an admission that we are going there as peace doves, extending a hand of friendship. We're not doing that. We're professional cricketers. We're down there playing the game, but we're also affected with what happened between the two countries. And I think that is something that they've expressed in the gesture that they did after the game.
Right, Nikhil. Well, I understand what you're saying here, and thank you for putting across the technicalities involved here as well, whether it was a protocol that was required for Surya Kumar Yadav to have adhered to. But when you speak about a cricket match and what it symbolizes under such circumstances, the problem is when a former cricketer rather, like a Shoaib Akhtar comes in and today says that इसको इतना बढ़ाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. I mean, at no point has India said that this cricket match means that all is forgiven. The situation still remains to be the same. Gaurav, would you not say this is in fact what Surya Kumar Yadav has done today out there on the cricket field is, I would say, drawn a mere line, and respectfully so. We have seen in the past that there have been instances between Indian players and Pakistani players of aggression that has come out much more explicitly, one would say. This was a mere respectful way of Surya Kumar Yadav saying that, yes, we've played the match, cricket has been played, that is what we came here for, and that's where we draw the line.
So whether it's Shoaib Akhtar or Shahid Afridi, the fact that saying isko badhane ki zarurat nahi hai, they are the elements who are trying to normalize radical Islamist terror that bleeds India. What is it that India upset about? India upset about Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror bleeding Indians in Pahalgam. What happened in Pahalgam? Pakistani terrorists came, they singled out Hindus, they massacred Hindu men in front of their wives and their children. Now, this jhagda in a family, as Shoaib is trying to put it, is this, let's not increase it the way Shahid Afridi is putting it, that is the politics being brought into cricket? This is nothing but a rather disgraceful attempt by these Pakistanis to normalize radical Islamist terror and trying to tell India, terror hota rahega, humko khelte rehna chahiye, and normalize it and shake hands with us, all is well. That is not the way Indians look at it. Because I have covered this Islamist terror for decades. And each time after terror, including after 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, we played cricket with Pakistan. That was only an excuse for Pakistan to normalize ties and bleed India again. Did Pakistan stop terror in India? It did not. But their cricketers have often, in fact, always sided with that radical Islamist terror. Shahid Afridi was a terrorist who was killed. Shoaib has talked about Ghazwa-e-Hind or Islamic war against Hindus. And these people want to come to India, make money in India, normalize with India, continue to lead India. And that's unacceptable to Indians. That's exactly what Surya Kumar Yadav and Gautam Gambhir and Indians are now saying. Enough is enough. There cannot be ties between the two countries when these people use religion to bleed India for their Ghazwa-e-Hind. What are they saying? They are saying that they are Muslims and they're coming to India to kill Hindus. That is Ghazwa-e-Hind. That's exactly what Shoaib Akhtar is talking about. And yet, we talk about cricket being a gentleman's game. There is nothing gentlemanly in what these Pakistanis do. And I think India finally has drawn that red line.